Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see architecture showing best practices for hybrid Active Directory. Well, now if you see, we have a hybrid or multi-cloud Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework for Azure, right? So what exactly do you understand by hybrid and multi-cloud? So hybrid cloud is a type of cloud computing that combines a private cloud like on-premises infrastructure with a public cloud like computing services offered by third-party providers over the public internet like Azure or any other cloud. Now, hybrid cloud allows data and applications to consistently move between the two cloud environments. Many organizations chooses a hybrid cloud strategy because of business requirements such as meeting regulatory and data sovereignty requirements, maximizing on-premise technology investments, or addressing latency issues. Now, the hybrid cloud is evolving to include edge workloads. Cloud-managed edge computing devices bring the computer power of the public cloud to the private cloud, closer to where the IoT devices reside, including data residing in the applications. It will reduce latency by moving workloads to the edge. Devices spend less time communicating with the cloud and can operate reliably in extended offline periods. So I'll switch on to my whiteboard and explain you how would this option work of integrating on-premise Active Directory domains with Microsoft Entra ID. Okay. All right. I have my whiteboard. It's working fine. All right. So now Microsoft Entra ID is a cloud-based directory and identity service. We all know this. Now, I will show you the architecture which shows the best practices for integrating on-premise Active Directory domains with Microsoft Entra ID to provide cloud-based identity authentication. Now, how will that work? Let me draw the architecture and you should draw it too while you are practicing. Let's say this is our on-premise network. Okay. Okay. I'll just create a box. This is my on-prem. And this is the connecting device in between. And these are my virtual machines. Okay. And I enabled a sync here. Okay. And okay, then I enabled sync, and this is the on-prem device, and this is the device on the Azure. Okay. And this is my cloud environment or subscription. Like this. And now let's say this is the application and this is the web tier of the application. This is the business tier of the application, and this is the data tier of the application. And now this is the public firewall or Azure firewall you see, and now this diverts traffic to different servers of this web application because this is my web tier or the public facing tier, and this is my business tier. I have a component here as well. Okay, and these are the servers on which I've hosted this. Same way the traffic flows from here, and I have a here for the connection, and this is my data tier, multiple servers, handling the traffic. Okay, I have a network for all of these, an NSG for all of these, and then here I have one management subnet, right? Or this is the Azure Bastion service deployed in this network. Okay, I have network security groups, I have load balancers, I have DDoS protection, and this whole box you can consider it as an Azure VNet or virtual network. Okay, now how would the traffic flow? If you see the components, we have a Microsoft Entra tenant, we have the web tier subnet, because this subnet holds the VM that run the web application, the one that is mentioned here, right? And now this has on-prem EDDS server here. I have on-prem EDDS servers as well. I have Microsoft Entra Connect Sync server as well, because this is a server on-prem computer that runs the Microsoft Entra Connect Sync service. And this service synchronizes information held in the on-premise Active Directory to Microsoft Entra ID. Okay, now then we have VM for N-tier application. If you don't know what N-tier architecture is, I might create another video for as well. So if I cover the scenario details and give you the potential use cases, right? So web applications deployed in Azure that provide access to the remote users who belongs to this organization. Now, if we'll implement self-service capabilities for end users, such as showing them how to reset their passwords and delegating group membership, this requires Microsoft Entra ID P1 or P2 edition. Same way, this architecture in which the on-premises network and the applications Azure VNet are not connected using a VPN tunnel or an express route circuit. Now, what will be the recommendations for most scenarios if they have this simple or kind of the usual setup? You have to configure Microsoft Entra Connect Sync service, because this will ensure that identity information stored in the cloud is consistent with the identity information stored on-prem, because there are a lot of changes that needs to be real time, because I need to have the identity intact in sync with the same information on both of my on-prem and in cloud. That's why I have hybrid, right? And make sure that you are taking care of all the synchronization requirements for your organization before implementing Microsoft Entra Connect Sync. You can run Microsoft Entra Connect Sync service on a VM or a computer hosted on premises. Okay. Usually running the service on a VM makes it easier to scale the server if needed, and we can monitor the activity on the VM as described in the monitoring considerations. And if you have multiple on-premises domains in a forest, it is recommended storing and synchronizing information for the entire forest to a single Microsoft Entra tenant. Filter the information for identities that occur in more than one domain so that each identity appears only once in Microsoft Entra ID. And what you do is you can use filtering so that only necessary data is stored in Microsoft Entra ID. For example, your organization might not want to store information about inactive accounts in Microsoft Entra ID. So you can do filtering, and that can be based on groups, domain based, OU based, or attribute based. Okay, and if you want to implement high availability for the AD Connect Sync service, run a secondary staging server, right? And after that, further you can define application proxy, pass-through authentication, monitoring, security, cost optimization, define the monitoring agents, how you want to configure Microsoft Entra object synchronization, Microsoft Entra application proxy, user authentication method, and how do you want to validate network topology, validate security configuration and policy, configure Microsoft Entra Connect Sync service. All right. Now, this is the basic architecture that I wanted to share with you guys on integrating on-premise Active Directory domain with Microsoft Entra ID. I hope this was informative for all of you. If you have any further queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.